Right, so we hate the everything is subjective argument because it's true.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Wait, objectively true? Or subjectively true? Surely if
Everything
it's
is
true,
subjective
well,
except
if
the stuff
everything
that's
is
not,
subjective,
It
guys.
falls apart the second you think about it. Let's say it's as simple as it's an objective fact that 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Well, if everything is subjective, what the fuck is the point in the word objective? Does it only exist to say nothing is this?
It's like it's a fantasy word. It isn't even real. What does he think
Fantasy word.
science is? Well, yeah, it's like if you actually think that literally everything is subjective, then objectivity refers to a fantasy concept.
well, there are plenty of words that do that.
But it's usually you talking about like
Okay.
fiction.
Yeah, it
Well, I was
refers to a
asking
purely
Jay, not you.
fictional concept.
Like if Jay said this thing's referred to that, you're talking about like if someone says Mordor, it's like of course that's referring to something that's not actually real. Well,
I'm
I
trying
think
to think of an edgy thing to say as a joke, like, "Oh, that thing's not really real."
Holocaust.
I think, yeah, sure, fuck it. No, but the Holocaust, like, even like, right. Hello, YouTube censors. I am speaking in a hypothetical. If the Holocaust did not happen,
We're talking
the-
about the hypothetical.
like a Holocaust, like, if that did not happen, then it would still be possible for it to happen. So that's not the same thing.
Not necessarily.
why?
No,
Why wouldn't
do
it
you
be
mean?
possible?
So if objectivity is not possible,
Yeah, no,
it's
you're
like a
saying
thing
that it
can
would be
happen.
possible. It's like we don't know
Yeah.
necessarily if it would be possible. The
Yeah,
Holocaust.
you can kill a load of people. That you can commit a genocide. That's possible.
Oh, that's
can
different than the Holocaust. Holocaust
What is-
isn't just a genocide.
No, a Holocaust though. That's a word that means a thing, right? It's just like a
It's
genocide, isn't it?
broad. I'd want you to know that a bit more.
Isn't a
point is
Holocaust
that,
just
like-
another word for genocide?
That kind of refers to when people use that, they specifically are referring to like the Jewish one in the 40s.
Yeah, that's
Right.
That's the most famous one. But
Yeah, that's
it-
why.
Oh,
That's why.
wait.
That's why when everyone
So
says
you're saying
Holocaust,
you wouldn't be able to commit a genocide in the 40s now because we're no longer in the 40s?
no. I'm saying that you don't. It gets a little philosophical. It's like when people say that it's possible God exists, and they have. We don't know if that's even possible for it to happen.
Oh.
See what I'm getting at?
Couldn't you
But,
say
like,
that
no-
it is still possible that God exists, though?
I wouldn't say that because I don't know.
You don't know if it's possible
you
he
don't know if
exists.
it's possible.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you don't know.
So
if
when
it's
people
possible.
assert that it's possible, is like they like how have you determined that?
Yeah, you don't. Well, it's possible within the realms of what you know. You know.
No,
If-
not
no,
necessarily.
right. Okay. So say you've got a box, right? And like you don't know what's in that box. So someone asks you, is it possible that, there's a finger in that box? As far as you're concerned, yeah, that's possible, but you don't know.
Sure,
But
but I would say that a
there
god, as it's generally defined, is a bit
and I
more
guess-
complicated than that.
Rags would probably say that we've got precedent, like we know that it's very possible for a finger to be chopped
Yeah,
off
we
and placed in
understand
the
the
box.
nature of mass
It's
and
like-
space and time and what fingers are and box and volumes.
Does
and
God
things
break
like that.
the universal rules we currently have? It's like, in a way, I suppose.
Yeah, but asserting that
You don't
it is
know.
definitely possible that an entity like God could exist is something that
Plus,
I
define
am not
God.
going to assert. All right,
Define your terms.
Define
all right.
God.
If you want to define God as an omnipotent, we're just right there. Omnipotent. I don't think that it is possible to be an omnipotent entity because that is logically
Oh, and then-
contradictory.
So omnipotent is like objective.
is that
in it's not
all-knowing?
possible,
I
it
forget
can't
which
happen.
ones it means.
That's omniscient.
Omniscient is
Omnipotent is
all-knowing.
omnipowerful, is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
can do everything.
And what would be the way
both.
you'd explain that that's like paradoxical?
Can God create a rock so heavy he can't lift it?
Right.
But that's not paradoxical though.
Yes, it is. You can't be omnipotent.
So yeah, if he's
No,
got the
because-
ability to create
no.
everything to maximum, then he should. How can he? Like, can he create something that he
Yes,
himself
because-
can't lift?
yeah, those two things are
one hand-
dichotomous. They
That's
can't both
that's just
exist.
equivalent to saying like, oh, this statement is a lie. That doesn't make sense. Therefore,
Yeah, but
fucking
so
lies
on
aren't
one
real.
hand he can lift
No, because
it, and that
omnipotent
means he
relies
was.
to action.
Yeah,
Like-
so just to explain, on one hand he is powerful enough to lift it, and therefore he could not actually create something he couldn't lift. So that means he's not omnipowerful.
but he could make himself. He could, if he's omnipotent, he could remove that power to lift the thing.
But then he wouldn't have the power to make the rock.
No, because he could return that power to himself.
So what all you're doing is you're just kicking the can down the road by saying that once he removes his power, then he wouldn't be powerful enough to make a rock so heavy he couldn't lift it.
Shut up.
The whole
Very
point of
silly
this is that
conversation.
Stop being
well,
silly.
all I
Rex,
was
you
just
can build a
trying to say
2x2 staircase in Minecraft.
it just started off as me saying that when people assert things are possible, don't just buy it. Because that argument happens with the theism debates. Omnipotence is a great example to use. That's why a lot of modern apologetics uses maximal.
I find that really interesting.
It's define anything for that, because it's like if you can just literally decide that matter is anything, like you can make any decision and it just happens.
Well, matter isn't anything. We can we have definitions of matter,
but you can just decide something and it happens. That's how it works, right? I would describe that as omnipotent, even though technically you can't microwave a burrito so hot that you can't eat it.
Yeah, the whole point of omnipotence is that it breaks down as being logically.
Well, yeah, it depends how you define being able to do anything.
That's omnipotence. That's the word omnipotence.
Can you do?
That's what it means.
But it depends how you define anything. So can you do something?
That's the omni and omnipotence.
So if you can do anything, can you do something that means that you can't do something?
No, that's the thing. You can't do everything. Because two actions can be dichotomous. Yes, that's the boulder analogy. You can't do both. You can't have both of those properties. You can't both have the property of being able to create something so heavy you can't lift it, and also being strong enough that you can lift it.
Exactly. Yeah, but
those are two dichotomous things. That's why it's the go-to example.
Yeah, but when you're defining something as the only reason that they can't do that is because you're defining something within the realms of something they can't do, which is nothing. So it's essentially, can you create something more powerful than literal power? No.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Okay. So if you literally have all power, you control literally everything in every aspect, then it is impossible for something to be more powerful than.
No, it's not a relative statement. Being more powerful than something else doesn't have anything to do with omnipotence.
No, but if you create a rock so heavy that you can't lift it, despite the fact that you are omnipotent, you've created something outside the realm of reality.
We're gonna have to stop there. We have to stop at that sentence because that doesn't make any logical sense.
I forgot what I said.
Well, if you say that if you are omnipotent and you create a rock so heavy you can't lift it, it's it stops there because that sentence is that's not
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not a valid sentence. That's why people use
that's essentially saying that
as the example.
You can't create something. You can't create something that is so powerful that it literally goes beyond literally infinite power. Yeah, you can't do that. It's like saying infinite doesn't exist because there's nothing more than infinite.
Well, infinite's more conceptual. You can't.
It is conceptual. It's conceptual. It's impossible for it to happen in real life. But conceptually, it works.
That's omnipotence. And omnipotence is a concept. It can't actually be a property that exists because it's logically contradictory.
Yeah, so we actually agree.
That's why modern apologetics use maximally powerful.
I was going to say in fairness to Rags as well, this is not something they would have thought of because they are happy to say he can do everything he wants. He's super powerful. It's just done and dusted.
Oh yeah, when I was a Christian and people asked that question, we treated it like a joke and we stopped thinking about it. There was never any actual exploration into that concept. And
this is the shit I love listening to, by the way.
Yeah, because it just breaks down. That's why modern apologetics says he can do everything that is logically possible to be done. So God cannot create a married bachelor is another example because it's not logically possible. He is as powerful as any agent can possibly be.
But
is what they say.
You could change the meanings of those words to make it possible.
Well, words don't have meanings; they have shared understandings, so that wouldn't matter anyway.
Quiet, Doggo.
Are we talking? Oh, don't we have a Hello Greedo?
No, not Hello Greedo. Fat Man.
No, we're done.
Oh yeah, that's right. We went on a tangent, so I assumed we were missing out on
Greedo effect. Yeah. It can go beyond Greedo.
I was pouring myself another drink. Sorry, I've been enjoying this.
What are you all drinking?
I am drinking tea, unsweet and ice cold.
I thought you said you had alcohol to get.
That doesn't have alcohol in it.
I'm not a tea purist. I actually don't care if you drink iced tea. That's okay.
Belch. Oh, what alcohol did you drink, Rags?
I had a delicious Red's apple ale.
I have a Mike's right now. I can't really get into the heavier
I'm
stuff.
drinking Bailey's.
What's the last part of what you said, Des?
Oh, I just said it's too early in the day to be drinking too much of the heavy stuff right now, so I'm just having Mike.
No such thing.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this stuff isn't heavy. I like the taste. I'm big into drinking for taste because I don't want to drink shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you.
Oh yeah, like I don't drink liquor really. I'm very, very, very particular about the liquor I drink. Same thing with wine. If it tastes bad, I'm like, fuck it. What's the point?
I
Yeah,
drink
I
a
like-
lot of liquor, but people know that already.
I like rum because to me it's like the least offensive of the alcohol, especially when you mix it
Yeah.
with something.
How can you think that about rum? Like rum
that's
is like one of the
interesting.
strongest tastes you can
Well,
have.
that's why I said I like it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's.
I don't. Yeah,
It's
I,
very
I,
I
subjective.
like rum, but I wouldn't,
wouldn't
say
call
it's like
rum
inoffensive.
yeah.
Inoffensive.
I would say I don't even know what I would. Maybe.
Like rum is like a punch in the face.
Your opinion.
Well, it mixes really well, is what I'm.
It
kinda
does.
saying.
It does mix.
Sake
To me,
is pretty easy drinking
Not
because
like a
it's
good-
like rum vodka sort of mixed. It's
oh my
kind
god, I
of what it
forgot the
tastes
name
like
of
to
the
me.
fruit. I forgot the name of the fruit.
Jay,
What's that fruit that's like an orange, but it's not called an orange? It's like a big orange.
pomegranate,
No,
passion
Grape-
fruit,
grapefruit. A
Mango?
grapefruit.
A
grapefruit.
big
Oh,
orange.
Yeah. It's like it is like a big orange. It's nothing like a grape.
Well, you could
it
say
is kind of like a grape.
You
yeah.
could say it's a strange grape.
Oh, how
Got
is it
lots
like a
of
grape?
They're both eukaryotes for
Okay.
starters. They're
Abnormal
both plants. You know, they're both plants. They have juice in them.
How is it like a
you can
grape?
take the.
How is it like a grape more so than other fruits? Specifically,
I didn't say
an
more so.
orange?
I didn't say more
Yeah,
so. than
whoa,
other-
whoa,
Okay, I
whoa,
was-
straw
yeah, okay,
man.
I was
Fucking
more
straw man
clearly
over
the-
here.
Okay,
I can't believe
was
that our
not
manager would
disagreeing
do
with
that
you.
on
I
EFAP
was not
live in
disagreeing
front of an
with you.
audience.
I was more
I can't
clearly
believe
defining
it.
my terms because
Oh
I felt
my
my terms were not
goodness.
clearly enough defined.
That's your
This is-
opinion,
I can't-
Jay.
Is EFAP 51 the EFAP that will tear this family apart?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Stay tuned next week for EFAP 52 to see if Jay ever shows his face around here again. And to think it was all because of passion fruit.
And letters.
Weird grapes.
Is
everyone ready for me to?
some kind of gay?
Is everyone ready for me to continue?
More
this?
like Gayley's.
I want to make sure we actually
Oh,
get through all of it, just
Oh,
in
yes.
case Rags is
Snap.
unable to hear the rest of it. Could be some more
Yeah.
funnies.
That's fair.
Oh yeah, we can take a look.